What's up guys, this is Chris from VFX and in this tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to make this awesome looking particle audio react. Okay, so I already imported my music that I'm going to use and my logo. And next what we need is we need to create a new comp, and I'm just gonna name this main about 11 minutes, or you can go for 10, whatever. So yeah, click OK. Oh, and almost didn't see that. I'm gonna use a high definition TV preset, 29.97 frames per second, and click OK. Okay, so let's drag in our music in here, and we're gonna right click it and go to keyframe assistant and convert audio to keyframes. Okay, we can uncheck this, and now if I go to effects, you can see that we have left channel and right channel. We only need both channels slider, so delete both left and right channel. And now if I press U on my keyboard, you can see here are a lot of keyframes. What we will do now is I'm gonna create a new solid, and I'm gonna name this audio particles. And we will need a trapcode particles trapcode particular. Drop that in there. Now let's go to emitter setting, and we're gonna alt click it, and here I'm gonna select the pick whip and just move it down and select audio amplitude and sliders here like that. And if we just move it, you can see that it is now changing. If it seems, well, later we can adjust that, but if it seems a bit too much, you can just like do slash or divide by 2, or like if I divide by 2, you can see that there are a lot more particles. But for now, let's just leave it as it is. And direction from uniform to directional, and direction spread percentage to about 35. Let's go with that. And velocity to 1,000. Now let's go into particles tab and change life to 2 seconds, life random to 50, and let's change size to 2. And set color, we will change that to over life, color over life. And let's just drag these out like that. Just drag out. We will only need 2 colors. And this color, we're gonna set it to this. So pause and just write that down if you want to use the same colors. And for this one, I'm gonna use this. Now let's open physics tab, and let's alt click it on the physics time factor, and I'm gonna drag with pick whip again to the same audio slider, but this time I'm gonna divide it for now to 4 by 4. Now let's open air tab, and let's set air resistance to 1.1. Now let's open turbulence field, and let's set all of these to 0. Like that. Why is it let's set it to half for now. And now let's open up aux system. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right, but basically open this tab and emit mode from off to continuously. So now you can see that it looks pretty trippy, and basically what this does, it emits particles from the particles that are already there. So basically every particle emits particles again. So now what I want to do is as you can see, here are big gaps. And I want that to be a straight line of particles so that you can't really see those separate particles there. And so one way to do that is let's try to increase the life to about 3 seconds. Let's see. Okay, let's try to increase particles per second. And again, this, as you increase the particles per second, it will take much longer to render. You know, I can go like, I don't know, this far, but as you can see, it starts to think about what's going on. So I don't know, I'm gonna change it to 200. Let's see how that works. Let's see, let's just change the time. So far it looks good. Yeah, so far looking good. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with 200. You just have to see what works with you. And let's decrease the size to about 2. Now let's zoom in, let's see. Yeah, let's go with like 2.5. Okay, and size over life, that's something we need to change. And what we need is, as you can see, you can draw in this. See, like that. And you want to draw something like this so that there is like a drop at the end. That's what something you want. Or actually, I'm gonna use this right here, and I'm just gonna draw here up so that we have nice and smooth drop right there. Now go to color over life tab, and we will use all of these colors. So last color is going to be this one, and this I'm gonna use this color. Here I'm gonna go with this, and here let's go with this, and last color to this. So this pretty much changed the colors of the particles over life. Okay, opacity over life, yes, that's good. Okay, now let's move back to the top. And I think that we have maybe a bit too much particles, but again, that depends on, you know, whatever you're after here. But in my opinion, I have a bit too much, so I'm gonna reduce that. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna duplicate this. Okay, so there are a bit too much particles for my taste. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna rename this layer to particles/second, and I'm gonna go into graph editor right here, and I'm gonna alt click on this time watch there, on time watch, and I'm gonna type linear brackets value comma. And now we need to find the lowest value. So let's go with 2, comma, and now the highest value, which is, let's go with 58, comma, and now the value we want the slider to set itself when it is at that lowest point. Like for example, when it's at 2 right here, that value it will set itself to. So I'm gonna go to 0.5, comma, and now the value for the highest point, or here when it reaches that 58 mark. So I'm gonna set it to 0.9 and close the brackets. So as you can see, it is at 0.79. It's not directly on that 58, but it is changing definitely. So as you can see, so that's great. That's exactly what we want. So I'm gonna close this down. Oh, actually no, I'm not. And go back to particles, alt click it, and using a pick whip again, select the slider. So it is gonna be still at 1 all the time, but there are gonna be, as you can see, pretty much almost no particles here. So, and what else I'm gonna do is I duplicated this audio layer, and I'm gonna search for high low pass audio effect, and I'm gonna drag that, and I'm gonna set it filter options to high pass, and I'm gonna right click it, keyframe assistant, convert audio to keyframes, turn it off, move it down here, and pretty much we can delete this layer as long as we have the original audio. And I'm just gonna name this velocity And we can delete left channel and right channel. And we can go out of graph editor. And this is gonna be for our velocity. So we need that affect both channel slider. Go into audio particles layer, and here we have physics time factor. So yeah, actually that's what we're gonna be using it for. And so alt click again, pick whip, and select the layer which we renamed wrong, but you know, it's gonna stay as it is. I don't really care right now. I'm gonna close all of these down, and actually maybe what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna where is it, physics, I'm gonna divide that by 2. Okay, now we will need a new camera, 35mm, and click OK. And let's move particles above our camera. And now I will create a new solid, BG for background, move it here, and I'm gonna create another solid, but this time using this color. Click OK, and I'm gonna name that BG again. And I'm gonna go ellipse tool and just drag a mask. Okay, and just move it to about middle somewhere here. And mask feather, just gonna increase that to about like something like that. And then increase mask expansion, something like this. Yeah, something like that. That looks good. Okay. Okay, now let's go into camera, transform, and let's change few settings here. So point of interest, let's change this to 2424, and this to 1496, and position again here the same value, and here to 2.7, and orientation here to 270. Now let's go to camera option and set the zoom to 1493. So this way we are only seeing like straight cut in the middle, only particles going this direction to the side. That's exactly what we need. If it doesn't look the same for you, just adjust these settings till you get it right. And now what we are gonna do is I'm gonna close the camera and I'm gonna go back into particles, because right now if you look you can see that we now see those particles, separate particles, and that's, like I said, that's something we don't really want. So let's go into where was it, aux system, and emit in particles per second. We are gonna increase that. Let's try 250. That's better, but still you can see those separate particles, and again we have to increase. So let's go till 300. That's better, but still can see. So alright, let's go with 350. How about that? Better, but still we can see those particles. Alright, let's go for 400. A lot better, but you know, still can see. I don't know if you can see from the distance. You can see. Alright, let's do 420. Alright, I think that this looks good. We can change those settings a bit later, but for now this looks good. Okay, now let's close this down, and we will need to adjust the look of these particles. So go to curves, search for curves, and add that effect. So I'm gonna quickly adjust the settings how I want them. You know, you can adjust however you like, or you can just copy what I will have in a bit. Okay, so these are the settings that I have. And let's, as you can see, RGB goes right here. Here are the points. So just if you want, you can, adjust them as I have. It's not that hard. And red goes here. Green is here. Blue, and I don't use alpha. Okay, so you can better see it. Okay, and now we will need an effect called edge glow. And saturation, I'm gonna change that to 110, and opacity to 35. So that gives a pretty cool little glow effect to each and every particle line we have here. Alright, so now that's done, we can close it down. And if you feel like you need more particle lines going on, you can, like I said, go into particles per second. That's something you can adjust here in this layer. So just change those. We'll use an expression. For example, I'm just let's just say I set it to 2 and here to like, I don't know, 5. And you can see a lot more particles are up now, but I don't want that many, so I'm just gonna go with this, because also that really increases the rendering time. So each and separate setting of these do increase rendering time. Especially I noticed, I don't remember, I think it was particles per second in aux system. That did increase the render time pretty badly. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select all of these, shift and just click. And I'm gonna right click it, pre-compose, and name this particle audio, and click OK. Now go back to main, and we have pretty much the same thing right here. And we will need an effect called mirror, and just drop it on. Take this point right here, and we're just gonna drag it into the middle right here. And set the reflection angle to 180 degrees. So now you have both ways going these particles. And now let's go to project and change the depth from 8 bits to 32 bits. It doesn't really give that much, but in my opinion it gives a bit more, the colors pop a bit more. So that's why I use 32 bits for this. Okay, and now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drag my logo in here, and I'm gonna simply right click, select logo and our audio layer, and right click and pre-compose, and I'm gonna name this logo audio. Okay, what size is it? Yeah, it's good. Okay. And I'm going to turn off the logo audio for now. Right click, new, solid, color, white. And I'm just going to name it white circle. Okay. And I'm going to select the ellipse tool and draw, select the layer and draw, like, I don't know, like about this big circle, and I'm gonna position it into the middle. I would say somewhere like here. Okay, now let's take our logo, move it above, press S on your keyboard to scale it down, something like that. Okay, and we now need a new solid. Just gonna go with black, and I'm gonna go as audio react and click OK. And we will need an effect called audio spectrum. Drop that on. And audio layer, I'm gonna select the audio we have. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to white circle and take the mask, copy it, and paste it onto audio react layer. And I'm gonna go in path, set it to mask 1. And I'm gonna set end frequency to 600. Frequency bands to about 1550. So it's a solid. Maximum height to, let's go with 150. Or maybe more. I don't know. Let's see. Okay, I don't know. For now, let's just move it to something like that. And softness to 0. And the color to yellowish. And outside color to red. And the hue interpolation to 312. So as you can see, it creates kind of like, I don't know, I like this sort of effect. So I'm gonna move now this, actually no, I'm gonna leave it where it is for now. And side options, I'm gonna set it side B, so it's on the outside. And now we need an effect again, mirror. Drop that on. And set the reflection to 180. And take this and move it to about middle, somewhere like here. That looks good. Okay, maybe a bit to side again. Okay, something like that. And maximum height, let's adjust that. Let's set it to about 1500. And don't worry that it's cut off right here. We simply go to audio layer, mask, and set it to inverted. So now it's okay. And I'm just gonna drag it here underneath. And maybe to this side. Let's see. No, actually, let's move it back. And let's see. Let's set it to 3. Or no, set it to 5. So that way there are no like gaps. Okay, that looks good. Okay, and and now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back to main project and drag. Oh, we have already a logo. Okay, cool. And I'm gonna select, which one was it? Which one was with the this one was right with the linear use. Was it, or wasn't it? It was this one. All right, so we're gonna take the particles per second audio layer, keyframe layer, adjustment layer, and we're gonna pass it right here into the main one. But I'm gonna rename it to scale logo, go to effect, both channels, slider, and I'm gonna set now the minimum scale that is going to be. So for now, I'm just gonna set it to, let's go with 100 as minimum and maximum as 150, just for now. And press S on your keyboard to open scale. Alt click on it with the pick whip, select the slider. Let's see. Well, that's big. That's very big. Okay. Let's go with 70 and about, let's go with 90 here. Let's see, how does that change? I think that looks good. Okay, close this down. And as you can see, pretty much we're kind of done. I'm just gonna show you something cool you can do with the particles. And yeah, but actually this is it for the tutorial for the original audio react I had, and I hope you like it, and please click that like button, but don't go away yet. I'm gonna show you some cool tricks. So back into particles audio layer. So if we go, I'm just gonna close all of these. If we go to physics, air, and turbulence field, and I'm gonna change this to, let's go with like 100, I don't know, 100 something, 188. It's gonna disappear. And I'm gonna set scale to like 5, and complexity, let's go with like 10. Now you can see it does this crazy weird thing, like it just moves around. You can see it is pretty cool. So let's just adjust, like move with the wind. No, we don't have the wind settings on. Let's just change a bit. Set the wind to 80. And you can see it does crazy things as you adjust. So let's set that back to 0. What else can we do? Like you can set, I don't know, let's set the X offset to 20 and Y offset to 50. Let's see what changes. So pretty much it just creates this weird looking, I don't know, like electric shock kind of look. I don't know, like lightning, whatever. And so something we can do is go to new adjustment layer and search for blur and add camera lens blur. And this, in my opinion, looks pretty cool. We go to main, you can see that's like the back is blurred, and I'm just gonna turn off this because I kind of don't like it, so I'm just gonna set it all back to 0. And now let's go back to main, and you can see it looks pretty cool with the back blur. So yeah, that looks pretty cool with the blur on. But again, like I said, that increases the render time. So what else can I show you? Let's go again into the physics. No, not physics, but aux system, and let's set velocity to let's set it to 10. And you can see it sort of like spreads out all these particles. Let's just spread it out even more. So it looks pretty interesting, pretty cool. And if we add that blur, you can see that looks pretty cool. And now you can just like duplicate this layer and in the aux turn off the velocity. And now this is what you have. It looks pretty cool. So yeah, you can just, there are lots of things you can do with this, and just so play around and see what works for you and what you like. With this effect, I think better would work the depth of field. It would work a bit better than the camera lens blur. But I think that it's okay to use camera lens blur if you want. But definitely depth of field in this case would work a lot better. So this is my focus distance. I changed it to, I think original it was at 1880, but now I set it to 253, and this is how it looks. I think it looks pretty cool. Yeah, let's see how this looks with the turbulence effect position. Let's set that to 150. Scale to, I don't know, let's go with 9, complexity to 3. So that's how it looks. It looks kind of like curly hair. Scale to like 2. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that look. Anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. It was really easy and not very complex to make. So make sure you give this video a thumbs up and like and subscribe and share it with your friends. So anyways guys, that's it for this tutorial. Please make sure you subscribe, you like this video, tell your friends, share it with your friends. And yeah, if you want this template, you can contact me through email, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and whatever other social media I'm on. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this. Again, like I said, please make sure you subscribe, like, share, and I will see you in my next tutorial. Bye guys.